What's up, guys? This is DJ here. If you are a beginner DJ looking for what potential upgrades you might want to get your first year, I'm going to show you my intermediate setup today at this wedding. And so it's going to be right here at the White Shanty in Provo, Utah. Let's do this thing. All right, so here's the venue. Kind of fun, and got those barn door vibes for the send-off, which is going to be super awesome. And here is where I'm going to be set up. So let's do a quick time lapse. I'm going to set everything up and then I will show how everything is connected. All right, you guys got the whole thing set up right here. We're going to go through how to connect everything. Okay, so first I've got my laptop and my iPad and my DJing FLX4. I've had a couple of you ask before, why do I use an iPad? This is mostly just to be used for backup, just in case something were to go wrong with the computer. And I also just like having the ability to stream Apple Music from Apple Music. I know Rekordbox can do it, but it's nice to have that consistency. The FLX4 only has an RCA output, so I use an RCA to XLR, but I've heard in the comments that RCA to dual quarter-inch is better. And I connect it actually to here through this mixer, okay? And so right here in my mixer, I have two channels that are for microphones, okay? And this is my mic receiver right here. This will be taken off of it in a minute. Those are my headphones. And then I've got two channels for music. This one's for the iPad, this one's for my FLX4. So I usually use this during the chill part of the reception, and then I'll use this one when we start hitting the dance party time. And usually for the mixer, it has a button called HPF. You do not want that clicked for the music, but you do want it clicked for your microphones. It's a high pass filter. It's very useful for microphones, but if you click it for music, it'll mess up, make it sound all cracky. So make sure to use that for your microphones, not for your music, okay? So from this mixer, I also have this right here, this Sennheiser wireless mic receiver connected into this area that's called my monitor, okay? So this is kind of like a booth out on some DJ controllers, and I actually use this right here, another one of these, over in my Everse 8, way over there. And so that way it's a wireless connection, and it sets up really well, plays music wherever I need it. I've also got two XLR cables here that are plugged into my RCF Evoke J8s, and I love these speakers. They're super portable, super easy to set up, and I really think they sound great. I'm actually going to do a video here soon where I review all of these. I have some duct tape here because the wedding planner told me I needed to move it, so it's kind of not symmetrical right now, so I might have to readjust everything, but really like these speakers right here. Go from the front side and see. From the front side, the lighting I'm using is glow tubes, and I made a whole video about those. They are incredible, so go check that out. And I also have these Rockville Par 6 RFs that I use as uplighting. I have a whole bunch more of these that occasionally, for other packages, I'll put them all around the venue, which is really nice. They're pretty cheap and competitive pricing for uplights because, well, they're not really made to be uplights, but they work just as well. And so I'd really consider checking them out. They're awesome. And then I've also got my Mr. and Mrs. sign here that I put on my folding table from Odyssey and my ProX flight case. So sometimes I'll have a facade, and sometimes I'll take the glow tubes and put them in a pyramid behind the entire booth. But today, since I've got this tree here, it'll kind of get in the way of the lights. And so this is the way I'm doing it today, with the glow tubes magnetized to my speakers. And I think it looks pretty cool. So let me know what you think in the comments. Now, I'm just using some command strips right here to hold that sign in place. I really like this folding table, but one thing that's a little difficult is you're trying to fit everything you need in this tiny area. And so the old table I used to use, it was a lot more space than this, but the nice thing about this is nobody can see what's going on back here, which is kind of nice because it's sort of messy. That being said, though, you still want to make sure that it's clean if possible, because like I use some cable ties right here to help a little bit, but you want to make sure that you don't trip over anything. And so I try and tape everything down the best I can, because I'm kind of an energetic guy. I'm sure a lot of DJs are. And so if you're running around, you don't want to trip over your wires. I do actually have another speaker that I use along with the Everse 8, and that is my Bose S1 Pro, which I have right here. And I only have one of these wireless microphone receivers, so if I want to use the Bose S1 Pro today, I will have to run a very long cable from this to the Bose S1 Pro. Now, there are some risks to that. People can trip over the cable, but there also are some benefits. Like these things run out of battery eventually, and a cable never will. So if you make sure the cable's hidden and taped up, it works actually just fine. I've done that quite a few times. but I do like to have the wireless. It makes things a lot more convenient. Hey guys, a couple days past the wedding now, but I wanted to add a couple more things to this video. If you watched my other video about my first beginner DJ setup, this video is really meant to be a supplement to that one to help you know how to upgrade. So I just wanted to add like 2 more minutes to this video so that I could show you and tell you why and which upgrades were like the most important, that I feel like added the most value to my setup so that you can start making money faster. And so number 1, I gotta go with those speakers, the RCF Evoke J8s. They turned my setup from this one right here to this one right here. And they really just made my setup look a lot sleeker. They're pretty cheap too, and I'll do a whole review on these things, but they are well worth your money. Second, I gotta go with the microphones. The Shure BLX are very convenient because they never cut out, and they make you look a lot more professional because they never cut out. So I really like the Shure BLX. And if you're looking to go do this for the long haul, there are even better Shure microphones than that. But like that is a really great place to upgrade and to start. Third, I gotta go with my lights. My glow tube lights and then also my Rockville Par 6 RFs are a really good combination. And then last, I gotta go with my table. I used to use a facade at all my weddings. It covered the ugly table that I had pretty well, but for a lot of outdoor weddings, the facade really just wasn't cutting it. I had a lot of problems with wind, and so I made a video about that over here. You can check it out. But this table that I can use, it still looks pretty good. I kind of think I like the facade look more, but now I have confidence that even if I don't have a facade, my setup still looks pretty cool. So I really like my Odyssey folding table and my ProX flight case. Overall, my entire setup that I put in this video is worth about $6,500. And so some of you might be like, whoa, that's a lot, right? And some of you might be like, oh, that's easy, that's nothing, right? But if you build it up slowly over time, get into things that you need first, you can build it up pretty fast making money from doing weddings. Okay, and then second, I wanted to talk about some of the upgrades that were really just more for convenience and not as much of a need. You probably do not need to upgrade your controller. I love the DJing FLX4 and I plan on using that one for a minute until I upgrade to the FLX10. And so the controller, I see no need to upgrade it because I upgraded my mixer. So this is one where it's like kind of just for convenience. So I've got 2 mixers here. I got my original mixer that I used for my original setup and the current mixer I use. And so I wanted to explain the difference between them real quick and why I chose to upgrade with that mixer. Okay, now right here is the Yamaha MG06, and this is the one that I first used with my very first setup in that other video you may have watched. I recently upgraded to this one, which is a 10-channel Yamaha mixer, but essentially the same thing. And one of the main reasons is because this one has a section called monitor. And this is kind of like that booth out, which I showed you in the video. The nice thing about the monitor section is I can connect my Everse, my zoning speaker, my Everse and my Bose into these bad boys, and then I can control the sound with this. So this is really cool because let's say the couple is maybe greeting with people right by my booth. This is gonna turn up the sound for where they're at, but this is gonna turn up the sound for the Everse way on the other side of the venue. So if you wanna push out more sound over there at any point, you can use this instead. So this Yamaha mixer does not have that. If you're in a situation where you're still trying to use a zoning speaker, you can just daisy chain it from your main booth speakers. The thing is, it's really nice to have this because I've actually almost busted my Everse 8 because I was daisy chaining it. You turn it up super loud here and you kind of forget that you have a whole nother speaker blaring music, which can be kind of dangerous for your speaker setup. And so I almost busted mine, but ever since I got this, it's really easy to say, okay, I can literally turn it down from my booth. If you have one like this, you literally have to run out to the zoning speaker and turn it down from the zoning speaker because it's literally mimicking the speakers that you're playing super loud music from. So this is a convenience upgrade, but it's been pretty nice to have. Anyways, I hope this helps you guys prioritize your future purchases if you're planning on upgrading your equipment. I'm gonna make another video in the future where I show my advanced gear, and I actually don't even have it yet. But once I show you my advanced gear, it's gonna have things like DMX lights, everything's gonna be DMX compatible. I'm gonna have a new table by that point, a new controller. So stay tuned. I'm hoping to have that video done in about a year. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. And if you guys want to see some of the content and footage that I got from that wedding, some actual live mixes and mashups, go ahead and watch the rest of this video. I also post these all the time on my YouTube shorts. So go ahead, check them out. Let me know if you like anything. A lot of them are super simple DJ mixes and transitions. So hopefully you enjoy.